Well, hey all you nerds, Gabe, aka Froopy Art here, and welcome back to our Gravity Falls encrypted-inspired Pokemon region. In the previous episode, you're still traveling through a weird, Ultra Beast-infested apocalypse and you're going around and helping people. You defeated and rescued a mind-controlled Maple and her Fairy-type Pokemon. Heading back to shore, you found a familiar face waiting for you. I could see the battle with your sister from way out here. Alright, let's heal you up. He tosses you some revives and potions and lets you recover your team. Great job saving her, kid. Very impressive. Where's she headed? You fill in Professor Pines on the plan and everyone bringing their mind control collars back to town to hopefully fight back. You ask about the professor's collar, which isn't on his neck at all. Oh, that dumb thing? Yeah, I figured I'd be trapped forever, but I got some unexpected help. These two decided we shouldn't be fighting each other at all. A pair of Cipher Squad grunts tentatively walks out of the nearby forest and nods at you. Don't worry, they're cool, and we have the last necklace with us, so why don't you take us back to where the rest of the townspeople are hiding? You remind your grunkle that there are still some people in need of saving farther north and check your map again. To your surprise, you see that not only are there people trapped up on the bridge that crosses over the opening of the Hoax region itself, but according to this, Professor Pines' dragon-type collar isn't with him and is still somewhere on the snowy mountain. You lower your phone and eye the professor suspiciously. What is it? Ah, dang it. I knew I should have said that we left that thing back there. Oh well. Instead of doing this the easy way, you two, take this pathetic human down. The two grunts attack, and you are forced into a double battle. You have to work your way through a Mantaris and Gugantum, followed by a Royletic and Frillo, and then finally a Phasbogor and a Hoaxian Garbodor. It's a tough battle, but you manage to knock them all out. Of course I couldn't count on you two to do it on your own. Guess I'll have to do all the heavy lifting. The professor's body distorts and stretches into the same shape-shifting Ultra Beast that you encountered in the bunker. Gortesk pulls out a Beast Merge gem and begins to glow. The two Cipher Squad grunts share a look of woeful resignation as the Ultra Beast's appendages scoop both of them up and incorporate them into the fusion. Yep, time for a Beast Merge that kind of breaks the rules a little bit. Gortesk is going to merge with two people, mainly to reference the shapeshifter in Gravity Falls becoming a horrible combination of Dipper and Mabel. Now, a quick shout out to everyone who suggested that we do some more The Thing inspirations, which is basically what's going on here. You know, this funky, unnatural pose, and especially the long head on this stalk-like neck. But of course, since the original Ultra Beast is pretty scary stuff, I did want to make this go like a little bit more silly. So our shapeshifter is trying to look like a person, just a completely normal human person, business person who does business person things, got a tie and a briefcase and everything, so very normal. And unlike the other forms, the Ultra Beast is 100% in control of this form. So it gets to have a fully formed head and face still, unlike the other ones. Okay, let's learn the details of Beast Merge Gortesk. The Mocking Mimic. Unlike all other known Beast Merge forms, there is no shared control between Pokemon and trainer. Gortesk is in complete control still and simply utilizes trainers to make itself stronger. It makes fun of its opponents by presenting a horrifying and distorted representation of a human being. After unfusing, trainers are emotionally scarred by the ordeal. And the ability is Trace, which copies a foe's ability. It's a tricky opponent with balanced stats and a wide move pool. Bug, normal, dark, and poison type attacks are certainly annoying, but luckily, utilizing some super effective fighting type attacks let you knock this horrifying abomination out. The two grunts separate from the Ultra Beast, and in its dazed state, you finally have a chance to capture it in a Pokeball. The grunts flee, but rather than chase after them, you eye the sheer cliff faces to the north. Some narrow paths wind their way up, and luckily, the grappling hook form of your Rotom Shift has you ascending up the cliff in no time. As you ascend, you appreciate the rich red rocks and clays that make up the cliffs, and so does one of your Pokemon. Yep, if you caught little Spokeily, it's been slowly collecting dirt from across the region, and this is the last bit of terrain that it needs to traverse before finally evolving. Yes, it is time for our little wheel of a spider to turn into a proper slide rock bolter. This is a North American cryptid that is essentially a massive worm-like whale creature that perches up on the side of mountains, latches on with a hook-like tail, and then when it sees prey, it lets go and slides down the mountain like a rock slide and gobbles them up. It honestly feels like a little bit of like silly speculative biology. It's very fun. Now, we're maintaining some of the bug aspects to justify our typing instead of it just being a whale. Now, one of my issues with the Slide Rock Bolter was how the heck it was supposed to get back up the mountain afterwards, so we're giving it some rotating pickaxe-like appendages that it can use to climb with. It's pretty goofy looking, but I wanted to make sure there were some silly mons in the late game. Also, I just love this evolution method. Gotta let it, see all the dirts. Okay, time to check out Boldrock, the landslide Pokemon. Early exploration in the Hoenn region incorrectly classified Boldrock as a land whale, but its bug-type ancestry has become clear with further study. They latch onto mountain peaks with their grasping tails, where they sleep for days at a time. When threatened, they let go and slide down the mountain with surprising speed. It maintains its signature ability, Roll Down, so the Pokemon speed stat is doubled during the first turn of a battle. Then it, returns to normal afterwards, with the hidden ability being Steadfast. It's massive, but somehow able to navigate the cliff face better than much smaller and more nimble Pokemon. It even finds an opening for you, leading into the tunnels that lead even farther up the cliffs. The tunnels are dark, but you can still make out the train tracks leading onward. Up ahead, it opens onto the long bridge where the people in need are stuck. You're not sure how Atlantica and the high-flying duo Skylar and Breeze got up here, but they definitely need your help. A massive flying Ultra Beast is circling overhead. You are ready to help your friends when one of your Pokemon suddenly begins to evolve. It turns out that this bridge has some significance to Vissellurk. Okay, now is the time to finally get to our final stage for our Mothman line. I actually went back and forth on how it would evolve, initially thinking it would use an item, but with Mothman tied so closely to the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant, a location-based evolution felt appropriate. Also, it helps justifying not getting the evolution until so ridiculously late in the game. Now, I ended up doing a few passes at this design so I could get it just right. There are a handful of designs, like the starters, that I honestly I care more about. I need them to be perfect. I mean, Vissellurk is probably top 3 favorite mons from the region for me. Now, it finally clicked when I took the wings from the middle stage and let them get so big that they block out the light, similar to how a black heron holds its wings over the water to trick fish into thinking that it's night. After I figured that out, it all just fell into place. And as always with this line, it has a ridiculous shiny. Okay, let's check out Visigoth, the Omen Pokemon. This frightening winged creature is able to predict disasters and tries to warn people in Pokemon. Luckily, others often find Visigoth and the eerie shadows it casts quite terrifying and flee without a second thought. Being feared by most people, Visigoth is incredibly appreciative of any trainer who can look past its dark appearance. The ability remains Terrorize, which lowers the special attack stat of opposing Pokemon, and the hidden ability is Intimidate. It stretches its massive wings, their undersides capable of casting darkness as if it were casting light, What do you think of our regional flying type? Let me know if it would make your team, but at this moment, it's ready to take on the Ultra Beast overhead, which swoops down to attack. Ah yeah, we're finally finishing up our 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse with Conquest. Conquest is a little bit more nebulous than some of the other descriptors, but we'll make it work here. And again, these have all been based on urban legends, so we're actually going old school with a Victorian-era spring-heeled jack. Sightings started in the 1830s, and descriptions vary a bit. Sometimes it's more demonic, but I prefer the version that's much more humanoid, tall and slender, blades on his fingers, white suit under his cloak. And of course, his most defining feature is his ability to leap massive heights. He'll chase you down and leap over gates and buildings and anything that gets in his way, effortlessly jumping and gliding down onto his prey. And that's why we'll actually be using the flying type here. And it's these, feathery blade-like digits that they help with flight, but it's mainly just getting around by jumping and gliding. All right, let's check out the last horseman. This is Slotrist, the scarcity Pokemon. UB Wing is fascinated by possessions of others. An overwhelming desire to procure everything causes it to steal without any remorse. And Slotrist will happily take things by force if their target is foolish enough to protest. In their home dimension, they have unintentionally started a cult-like following of possessionless denizens who are desperate for any scraps Slotrist may drop. Their ability is Pilfer, so dealing a physical attack causes the opponent to drop their held item. If this Pokemon has no held item, it will steal it. And the hidden ability is, of course, Beast Boost. It lands softly on the bridge and rattles its razor-sharp feathers before attacking. It is extremely fast and strong, and its normal flying, dark, and steel-type attacks rip through your team. It takes some real effort, but you are able to weaken it to the point that you have a chance at capturing this legendary Ultra Beast. Atlantica, Skylar, and Breeze cross the bridge to you.
Whoa, that was some top-notch Pokemon battling right there.
Yeah, totally radical!
We probably should say thank you or something, but honestly, we don't have time to. Come on, you two, let's get back.
For sure. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, we owe you one.
Atlantica huffs and follows the experienced pair down to the ground and back to town. You check your map to see where your Grunkle actually is. But we'll pick it from there in the next episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying this series. There's a new puzzle added to the Discord server, so check out the video descriptions for details on how to join all of the journal deciphering fun if you haven't already. I wanted to thank the amazing Patreon supporters for helping the channel, but in particular, I just have to shout out Angel, Cyberlord, and Mason for being the coolest kids I know up in the champion tier. Alright, I will catch you in the next one. Later, nerds.